Welcome. Welcome YouTube. Welcome. It looks like I need to adjust some lighting for everyone. I will say Success and Sanity is usually live on Instagram, but an awesome friend of mine to hear more posted a YouTube link. So I decided I will go live on both platforms. But to do so, I need to make some adjustments. So bear with me while you all see some of these adjustments live in real time. Right, lighting. I don't know how best to do this, you guys, because I'm going to actually go live on both platforms. So just bear with me while I get mics moved around and make the technology work for this scenario. I was trying to figure that out while I was getting the live ready. I really want it to be the best possible scenario. I want the audio to be good. So if you're in here in the live stream, please let me know how the audio is looking or how the audio is sounding and how we're looking. Welcome. I promise next week I will have 2 lights. If we're going to continue to stream on both platforms, I will be ready on time and have things going. So I'm going to share the link to the YouTube. And then I'm going to get going live on Instagram because I'm a little behind and I do not like to be behind. If you know anything about me, I like to be on time. So let me just make sure that I am able to share my link and get us started. And so if you're, and then there's obviously, I need to make an edit. I'm so sorry. There's already a typo. So if you're new here, I'll do an introduction once I get us started on Instagram. My name is Tiffany Ram. Welcome to Success and Sanity, which is a weekly podcast dedicated to teaching you how to succeed without losing your mind. These are all the tips and tricks you need, really the skills you need to succeed without losing your mind. And these are strategies from mental health strategies to success and efficiency, business running, goal setting strategies. So bear with me. Like I said, I'm going to share this link on YouTube and then we're going to get right into it once I start the Instagram. So please come join the live. I know people the fans on Instagram are ready to go. But not everybody's on Instagram. Can you believe that? So, so I'm going to just share with people who maybe are not on Instagram so they can maybe check it out. Obviously there's a typo on there, so I got to figure that out. But I do know there's people who will want to watch on YouTube instead of Instagram. So give me just a moment while I share the link. I hope if you're in here, you'll also hit the like button and share the link because this is really beneficial information. And I would love for everybody to have it as I truck along and share it with everyone I think needs it. Today is a short lesson. If you're in the chat and you have a question, please let me know. Type it in there. I'm happy to answer the questions. Any questions on or off topic, if it's seemingly off topic. In addition, if you're on Instagram, you follow me at TiffTALKTV. You are welcome towards the end of the lives every week to jump on live with me in an effort to get free live coaching. So that's a benefit of being on the Instagram feed. And I'll try to repeat the questions so everybody knows what's happening as we go along. So I think I've shared with enough people to get us started. I'm a little late on Instagram, so hopefully everybody over there forgives me because I do want to get right into things. And like I said, I usually like to be on time, but we launched over here on Instagram first. So let's get us started on, we got started on YouTube first. Let's get started on Instagram. And I'll have to apologize to those folks for not being on time. And let's watch our typos. Hello. Ooh. And I should have copied that. So give me 1 second. Oh, Lord. Give me all just a moment, YouTube. Bear with me. This is what happens when you don't have your own assistant or mods for your YouTube. And you're trying to run multiple devices. But here we are. We're getting it together. Cool. Yeah. So like I said, this was not supposed to be launched on YouTube until after the new year. But an awesome friend of mine shared that we're going to be live on YouTube instead of Instagram, which we're actually usually weekly live on Instagram. And that the version of this coming to YouTube would be later. But here we are. So oh Lord, technology. Give me a moment while I get us situated. Also live on Instagram. We're going to run both streams at the same time. Thank God I have like a plethora of technology. And actually, YouTube, give me one moment because you're kind of foggy. So let me help you out there. There we go. All right. Hi, Instagram. I apologize for being a little tardy today. Welcome to Success and Sanity. I am literally streaming on two platforms at the same time. So I apologize for the tardiness. A good friend of mine actually advertised that we're live on YouTube today. We're actually live on Instagram, but I said, hey, why waste the free opportunity and plug? So I'm going to be live in both places. So I'm going to introduce myself to both of you. Again, sorry for being a little tardy. We usually start on time. My name is Tiffany Ram, also known as TiffTALKTV. I am TiffTALKTV on pretty much every platform. I'm a licensed therapist and a success coach. In regards to therapy, I specialize in anxiety, depression, life transitions, treatment of trauma, and sex and sexuality. And in regards to success coaching, I help people learn how to succeed without losing their minds. The skills and strategies you need to protect your mental health, to build what I call success resilience, and be able to succeed at any long-term goal, achieve it without burning out or giving up before you get there, and then also being able to maintain it once you get there. I know these work because I use them. And I will be completely transparent. I have needed to reward bundle now more than ever because I have had quite a few transitions and major life things happen recently in my life as well. And so this has really helped me to kind of break through my plateaus when I'm having a tough time. And so I really do practice what I preach. You're welcome to, request a consultation individually at any time on my website at tiffanyram.com or at geminiwellness.org, which is my therapy practice and success coach practice. You can request a private consultation, 15 minutes free consultation to see if therapy or success coaching is right for you, if I'm a right fit for you. But otherwise, this is a great time. Outside of that 15-minute consultation, I do not do anything for free. So this is the one time after each weekly session on this podcast is an opportunity for you to jump on live here on Instagram to get free live coaching with me. I will apologize, y'all. I don't know why I look so shiny. I swear I'm not sweating. I guys just, this is the dewy look of makeup today. This is what we did. So just know I'm going to go through the lesson. This week's lesson is pretty short. It's a pretty easy concept, but really crucial to building your success resilience. You are not going to be motivated all the time. So that's what this particular concept is about. I actually don't believe in motivation. Motivation is a concept, an idea that what sparks, change, or an influence. But the reality is that behavior, habits, discipline, consistency is what keeps you going towards a goal when the motivation fades or when you get sad or when you get down or when you face a challenge or a barrier. So today's topic addresses that. Today's topic is reward bundling. Once I explain it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense. And it kind of sounds exactly like what it is. So reward bundling is the idea of setting up incentives towards many action steps to get you to your large action step or your goal, your overall goal. Now, you can do hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly reward bundling. And it really is meant to be used in that manner. Reward bundling is incentivizing yourself towards goals. Now, where it becomes particularly helpful and beneficial is when you get in the practice of doing this on an midday, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly goal. An example of reward bundling for me, and I tell people this all the time because I'm an avid napper, I have a really wild schedule, And so I need to make sure I still get my sleep, but I also need to make sure I get everything done. So part of my reward bundling, something to incentivize me towards my sleep, which is needed, is saying, I need to do these 3 tasks before I can lay down for my nap. I need to complete the laundry, client emails and progress notes before I can lay down for my nap. Right. And that's my reward, is like, I really love me a nap and I really need it. But these are the things that need to be done first. Now you're like, yes, as soon as I get done with this, I get to lay down. For some people, your midday or your daily reward might be something like, okay, as long as I get these 3 or 5 things done, then I can go to happy hour with my friends at the end of the day. Right. Or, as long as I do these 3 to 5 tasks after work, then I can watch my favorite show. So they don't have to be related to money. They don't have to be monetary, incentives. They can be things or moments or time spent. I like to incentivize myself with, trips with my best friend. And those would be more like quarterly or yearly incentives. As long as I hit this goal, I get to do this thing. And so that's what reward bundling is. And it's absolutely necessary. Reward bundling is 100% necessary for you to maintain your success resilience. Knowing that there is, a reward for you taking action is critical. Now, how do we do this effectively? Again, on the midday, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, how do we set up these reward bundles to be effective? One, you do have to learn a bit of impulse control. You do have to learn some discipline, and reward bundling done effectively will reinforce discipline, consistency, and routine, which is what you'll need to a point to be successful. Now, no, not rigid routine. Okay, because rigid routine doesn't allow you the variability that a lot of us need to be successful, but there's a certain amount of consistency and routine you need to be successful. Even some of the busiest entrepreneurs have certain things that are routine, like clockwork, that they do not miss to keep that consistency in their life that helps them maintain good mental health and really good entrepreneurial functioning. Okay. So reward bundling, again, there's free things, right? It does not cost a thing for me to take a nap. Not at all. Or even just take a break. Okay. If I do these 3 things, then I can have some free screen time on Instagram. Many of you need to implement social media time as part of your reward bundling. Stop randomly cruising your Instagram. Stop randomly cruising your TikTok. Stop. And this is coming from an influencer. I want you to look at your Instagram, right? I want you to look at your YouTube. I want you to watch all these videos. I do. But I also want you to be successful at achieving your goals. I also want you to have a healthy self-esteem and a healthy sense of self and a healthy balance of achieving your goals. And if you do not learn time management and reward bundling, you will not be able to be successful. You will not be able to achieve and attain some of the things that you want long term. Most of our goals, for those of us who are big goal chasers, big dreamers, sorry, helicopter, um, uh, they don't happen overnight. And so reward bundling is one of the best ways for you to build up your success resilience, because you have daily, weekly, monthly incentives. Again, they do not need to be monetary. Some of my favorite reward bundling includes just movie night with a friend, going downstairs, to get away. I have a favorite neighbor who's like just downstairs. And that's one of the things. If I do these 3 tasks, then I can go downstairs for 2 hours to socialize. And then I can come back up and crank out the rest of the business I need to do for the day. But I have to earn that as a reward, right? Like, I'm not just going down and chilling and kicking back all day. No, I need to get my business and my stuff done, and then I can socialize. And even better is I, have implemented working dates with people, right? Like, oh, you have things to do, I have things to do. Let's do those things together. So reward bundling is a great way to do that. Does anybody have questions? I see a lot of people in the chats, both on YouTube and on Instagram. Like I said, this is a pretty basic concept, but where people start to have questions is like, especially when I have them in a coaching session or therapy session, they're like, what's appropriate reward bundling? So here's the thing. I always talk about chemical or substance use. minimizing chemical and substance use for a plethora of reasons for mental health, overuse of alcohol. Alcohol is a downer. So I try to minimize all my clients, alcohol consumption, and trying to move their consumption to later in the day, closer to a bedtime. So if your reward is 1 or 2 drinks, make sure that reward comes at the end of the day. Make sure that's like, then like, yeah, I get everything done on my to-do list. Then I can go to, happy hour and have 2 drinks. I also tell people to watch and manage their marijuana consumption. I am not anti-weed, I promise. I'm very CBD and weed friendly. But as a practitioner, I really want you to learn how to build things into your coping skills toolbox and your rewards toolbox. Marijuana, weed, alcohol should not be your only reward. You should build up what your rewards look like. I do not just have naps as my only reward. Okay, so build up your reward, prize box. What are things you can treat yourself with? If you're on a budget in maybe, the Starbucks twice a week, right? If I get such and such done or these 3 or 4 tasks, then I get to go and get a Frappuccino, or, if you have, for me, one of my reward bundles is hitting certain goals physically. And I incentivize myself with more pole time. For those of you who don't know, I do participate in pole fitness and I love pole dancing as a way to express myself physically. But those classes are expensive. The studio time is expensive. I have one at home, but it's so much better when you're in a big studio and you have all that space. And so I reward myself. I have to set up reward bundles. Once I get to this goal, then I can buy, $200 worth of private classes or, a bundle of classes or studio time to, freestyle or whatever. So I build that into my budget. Once I hit this, once I've paid off this much on this bill, I can buy more classes for a pole. Right. So it really works towards anything, whether it's a fitness goal, a financial goal, a business goal. You build in your daily rewards. Like I said, for me, it's usually a nap or socializing time with friends. And then secondarily, also social media time. I need to do these 3 things before I can check my Instagram again. I need to do these 5 tasks before I can, get 30 minutes of YouTube time. I need to do all this before the end of the day before I can binge watch such and such show. Okay. And you have to hold yourself to it. I'm going to address YouTube really quick. I don't see any comments coming in specifically through Instagram. If you have them, please let me know. I'm going to address, I think there's a comment here on YouTube. They said, comedians, Miss Lips sent you over here. I love you, Miss Lips. Thank you. Hi, Mark. I see you. So I'm glad you're over here. But yeah, reward bundling is a very basic concept, but a lot of us don't use it appropriately. And you should be incentivizing yourself literally on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, and an annual basis. And you should write it down. For me, I don't have to write down naps. I know that, my daily reward is if I do the 3 to 5 must do tasks for the day, I get to have a nap. Today, I did not get to have a nap. We pushed through and we got here regardless because it wasn't that I didn't get the task done, but I also have time limits. Like these tasks need to be done by this time for me to take this nap. Or, these tasks need to be done by this time for me to go get the Starbucks and come back. Because otherwise what? Now I got to do the other thing, right? So you have to also do your time blocking, which is a whole nother session. We'll get into time blocking on another day. But building in those incentives, those reward bundles is really what will be key. I love to teach reward bundling for financial budget goals because people always think when you say budget, that means strict and you ain't got no wiggle room and you can't go to friends and you can't do this and you can't do that. Listen, I'm on a very strict budget and I will not miss getting my nails done every 2 weeks. I will not miss my hair appointments. I will not miss going to the movies once a week with my friends. I will not, just know. There are certain things that I know these are built in for mental health and that I can meet my financial goals while also budgeting in these rewards. For me, it's self-care nails and part of my business, right? Like what I look like being on here live with y'all and just being a hot mess. That would be terrible. Mostly for me. I build on those rewards, right? So as long as I'm saving this much and paying these bills and doing this in this manner, getting the nails done, getting the hair done, now I'll say that I know I have to hit certain financial goals for me to actually get a style. You guys knew for a good portion of 2021, I really did rock a ton of different crochets, braids, all sorts of styles. But then I was like, ooh, I fell off for like a few months in regards to like, oh, I was overspending in certain parts of my life. So I said, well, the hairstyle's got to go, Tiff Talk, until you get back on track. So it's that easy, holding yourself accountable, being disciplined, and being consistent. And so part of my reward bundle is, okay, I have 2 goals that I'm working towards before I can color my hair again. Surprise, it's gonna be a different color. Okay. And a style. So just know you build those things in and you be consistent and diligent about it. When it won't work is if you do not have impulse control and you give yourself the reward anyways. Me, if I would have just taken that nap anyways, then having the reward doesn't make any sense. The incentive doesn't work. Like your kids, if the reward's supposed to be screen time, but you let them have the iPad all the time, that's not going to work. Right. So make sure you keep those boundaries. But reward bundling is really good. Like I said, on a daily, weekly, monthly, semi-annual, and annual basis. So if you join my program that will be launching tentatively January, the first round of Success and Sanity as a group online course, you'll get these in worksheet form to write out. Eventually, there will be a workbook, so look out for that. But in the meantime, nothing's stopping you from just jotting on a piece of paper or in your journal, right? Like, what will be my daily incentive to get my tasks done? What will be my weekly incentive to do like my bigger weekly tasks? What will be my bigger monthly goal, to get the monthly stuff done? What will be the semi-annual goal? Because some of you are, going for your PhDs. Some of you are saving for houses. Some of you are launching that business. Well, then you need to write down the to-do things and you need to have daily, weekly, monthly rewards for hitting those daily, weekly, monthly goals. So let me know if you have any questions. And I do see some comments in here, people saying, that makes sense. I'm glad you think so. I never thought of this. And this feels like literally the missing piece of my puzzle. Yes, please start practicing this. Like I said, I always like to use myself as an example because I like you to know it's real. So yes, and I think as an adult, some people are afraid to say they nap. Listen, naps are life. I have a whole little mini course on naps and benefits. So that will be one of the topics coming up in the future weeks about how to nap, how to use them effectively, what works, what you should and shouldn't do for naps to work for you. So just know I'm a huge advocate for naps as a reward, as a skill. But also, again, make sure you build in rewards. I have conversations all the time about this. But again, just a reminder that alcohol related and marijuana or weed based incentives should not be the only incentives. There should be other incentives, a social activity or, reading or screen time, social media time, something like that. It should not just be alcohol or drug related, recreational use related rewards. Okay. Because those things can also easily be abused. Or be used as a maladaptive coping skill. So we also want to make sure that you're not, kind of maybe overusing something to compensate for a lack of another coping skill. So that comes later because we're here every week to talk about the pillars of success and sanity. Now is the time, if you're on Instagram only, sorry, YouTube, to go live with me. If you want free coaching, if you have questions on this or maybe anything else you've seen in the previous episodes of Success and Sanity, now is the time. If you want to go live and ask a question to get free live coaching, now's the time. I also remind you while we wait for someone to volunteer to go live, if they want to, of the pillars of success and sanity. It is coping skills, boundaries, support systems, and self-care. A lot of people are like, that's too simple, Tiffany. What about time management? What about other things? Underneath the pillar of boundaries, I break it down to time management, the difference between being productive and busy, the difference between networking and socializing, all those concepts. A lot of the business kind of technical managing self, those things fall all under boundaries. So the 4 pillars of success and sanity, how do we manage ourselves in a way that allows us to accomplish our goals, take action steps, be effective in our goal, whatever it is, business, academia, our personal relationships, fitness, nutrition, weight loss, whatever it is, how do we be successful at that? These 4 pillars, the coping skills, the boundaries, the self-care, and the support systems, those are the keys. And don't worry, we get there. Those are the principles that I live by, I preach by. If you know me, eventually you're going to get all those nuggets. But this is what I live by. It works because I've used it. If you know anything about my testimony, if you've scrolled through my Instagram or watched some of my YouTube videos, I've been through some things. Life has not been, rainbows and the whole time. It has not been easy. I did not grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. So just know these things work because have done a lot of research and studying, and I stay on top of it as best I can for the most up-to-date research. So just know, like, I'm very passionate about these 4 pillars. This is what you need, no matter what your goal is. If it's a long-term goal, you need these to be successful, to prevent burnout, and to help you stay on top once you get there. I'm gonna give it about a minute because we're right. I like to keep it right around 5:30, right? So, so you guys can go back and rewatch. I don't take up all your time. These are little mini takeaways. If you want the full thing, you're either gonna have to do individual success coaching, private sessions, or when the course becomes available in January, please help yourself to the group to the group training. So you'll be able to go through all of these skills, all the assessments, all the activities in a group setting. So the idea is to kind of make it more, affordable for folks and accessible. But this is the best opportunity weekly for about 15 to 30 minutes is your opportunity to get free live coaching and get a session to get a mini course on that week's topic. So I appreciate you all for being here on YouTube and on Instagram. YouTube, I promise you that your setup will be better next week. Now that I'm like figuring out that I actually have enough technology to pull off both platforms at the same time. Who knew? So I'll have better lighting for you next week, YouTube. Instagram, I think we look okay. So I appreciate you all. Like I said, about 30 more seconds, I'll give it. I don't see anybody requesting to go live for free live coaching. I know I see some familiar faces in here, but maybe you don't want to get on live. That's fine. Maybe nothing's really piquing your interest, which is okay. But just know we're going to be here every week at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or I should say most weeks. If you see a post on my Instagram story, then we will be having an episode that day. If you, for some reason, pop on there on a Tuesday and you don't see the post, it probably means I'm booked. I'm doing something that took up this space. So I do apologize. But if you see a post on that Tuesday, that means we are coming live and there's opportunity for you to receive free live coaching. I don't see any requests. So I'm going to wrap it up today to be respectful of all your time. I appreciate you for joining us. Please check me out on all the other platforms because there's a little different content everywhere you go. If you do want to book a free consult for therapy or for success coaching, feel free to go check it out in my bio here on Instagram or on one of my websites. So I'm going to let you know. You can check me out on tiffanyram.com or GeminiWellness.org. Yes, I am a Gemini, and Gemini Wellness is really about whole balanced wellness, your mental, physical, and sexual health. So check me out there. Otherwise, I'll see you here same time next week. Thank you, YouTube. I just had to sign up with Instagram, but now I just want to give you guys a shout out. Thank you for joining us this week on the first episode of Success and Sanity here on YouTube. Like I said, it was a little bit on accident, which is why you're not seeing me as fably lit up as I probably could be. But I will fix that for you all next week now that we are streaming live on boop platforms. Whoopsie-doopie-doo. But eventually going into the new year, these episodes on Instagram or on YouTube will actually be pre-recorded for you. So if you want to know something specifically, if you have questions, please put them in the comments and I'm happy to cater content specifically to your needs. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Please take care of your sanity.